How's everybody doing today? My name is Steven Rosenberg and this is GInzburg. Welcome to Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes. We have a very special episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about what are some of the major keys to success for both Gin and myself throughout our careers. And we'd also like to hear about what your keys to success are. I'll kind of just get the ball rolling, and then Gin, you want to take over from there?
Yeah,
I know
sure.
People are dying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know.
I want to hear what your keys to success have been, because I know that you've been an entrepreneur for pretty much since college, if not before. So 12 years or whatnot. So I'm sure there's probably some very good tidbits in there.
That's my official career. I've definitely been an entrepreneur since I was a little kid. My grandparents owned a business, a hardware store, when I was growing up. So that's where I really learned all about what it's like to run a business and, be a business owner, and being surrounded by that my entire childhood really gave me the infrastructure, I think, for the work ethic. There are lots of different keys to success. I think probably the most important one in my mind is work. So working is the most important thing, and if you think that you're going to build something really big and successful without putting in a lot of work, you're sadly mistaken. Similar to what I hear people say all the time, oh, you're so lucky, you're the boss, you get to do whatever you want. Yeah, but I'm always the hardest working, I'm always the first one in the door, last one out the door, because if you're not, somebody else, some other hungry entrepreneur is going to chew, trying to get his or her success. So anyways, some of the keys that I have is make sure if you decide to become an entrepreneur or to own a business or start a business is to do something that you absolutely love. This is so important, I think, because things will get very hard as you start and grow your business, that if you don't absolutely love what you're doing, it's 10 times easier to give up. I mean, why wouldn't you? And go do something easier. I think the other important thing is to really try to drown out the haters, drown out the naysayers, the people that don't believe in you. And that's really hard because sometimes those people are your family or your friends or people that are really close to you. And I don't mean don't listen to them, period, but you have to do what's right for you and what you feel in your heart when it comes to this business, because you're gonna have to give up everything essentially. The third key that I think is really important is being really focused and stay focused on the path ahead. It's very easy to get focused on these little insignificant things that seem very significant at the time, but really in the bigger picture isn't that, make it or break it. And so try really hard to stay focused on what your end goal is, and if it's really not going to be the demise of you, I would not waste time and effort and energy on it, because a big portion of being a business owner is your mental state. If your mental state is not in line, it's going to be really, really, really hard to deal with the day in and day out of failures and or successes. Because with success comes, more work. That's the last key that I have written down is be prepared to put in endless amounts of work, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Those are my keys.
That's awesome. My keys are some of them are actually really similar.
It's because we both rock,
I have, yes, of course. I call them the 7 keys to success, and just from everything that I've learned as an entrepreneur, and I can kind of go a little bit into my entrepreneurial journey before I get into the 7 keys. So I don't think a lot of you know about this about me. Actually, Steven, I don't know if you know this about me as well.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't born in the United States. I was born in the former Soviet Union.
Really?
And
Belarus? With Gary Vee?
No, Russia. I was born in Russia.
Belarus with Gary Vee.
Yes, yeah. So I came here as an immigrant, and of course my parents were immigrants too. And coming up, it was, as most immigrants, we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. My family. So it really kind of got me started to think, even when I was little, like that I think there's a lot more than just having a regular job, and I've always had that entrepreneurial thought in the back of my mind. So I just, went to college. I went to the University of Chicago. I graduated. I took a regular job for the first 10 years of my career, just learning and really getting up to speed and learning about marketing and digital marketing in general. And then I decided that it was time for me to start my own business. I felt like I could help my clients, or clients in general, better direct one-on-one, as I do now in my consulting and my agency, than I did working for an employer. So so that's basically my short little entrepreneurial journey, and I'm sure one day we can do a video and go more deeply, Stephen, into what yours was and what mine was.
Yeah.
But in terms of everything that I've learned in the last 4 years that I've had my own business, I call them the 7 keys to success. So one of the things is, don't let your background dictate being an entrepreneur. I feel like a lot of times I see oh, I came from this background, or I'm this, and I need to stay in my lane. Don't think of it that way. Really think that the opportunity is endless, and that we all have an opportunity to become an entrepreneur if we want to. The second one is, a lot of it is about confidence. A lot of people think that it's all about the skills, and of course you do need to have skills in order to have a business, but it's also about confidence. And a lot of times I see that, especially with women, is that there's confidence lacking. And so one of the things I would highly recommend is to really build your confidence. And it could be, it could be a lot of different things. Maybe watching the movie Rocky builds your confidence, or seeing some, successful stories, reading articles or blogs online about successful entrepreneurs. Whatever it might be, but always continue to build your confidence. For me, it's running. I don't know, for some reason running builds my confidence, and I feel better about myself and my business after I go for a run. I know it's kind of weird and funny, but I guess everybody's got their own confidence builder. Number 3 would be to commit to your business. So if you're really down to be an entrepreneur, you really have to commit to your business. If you don't do it 110% and there's things that are lacking, then it's quite possible the business will not continue and you won't be successful. So it's very important to actually mentally commit to it and move forward with it. Number 4 is you're gonna hit a lot of adversity, just like Stephen said earlier, is that there's gonna be things, it's gonna get hard, it's gonna be certain times are gonna be very difficult, but don't let adversity not allow you to continue your business, because it's just part of life, and it's part of any business and part of being an entrepreneur. There will be hard and difficult times, but really work through them, and I think you'll be more successful and more happy if you go through the difficult times. As they always say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Right. Surround yourself. Number 5 is surround yourself with people that you can relate to. And I think, Stephen, you mentioned a good point, kind of similar to what I'm saying, is that sometimes your family or your friends might not really understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur, and sometimes they might be even naysayers. So really surround yourself with people who you can relate to, other entrepreneurs. And I think it will come naturally as you build your own business. You're going to meet people in the entrepreneurial space, other business owners, and it's going to be, just a really good experience to hear their stories and to hear their experiences. So, try to stay away from people who are naysayers and who, might keep telling you no, don't do that, don't be an entrepreneur, because you will find people like that in your life. Number 6 is continue to learn. That's one of the most important things, I think, as an entrepreneur, is that with all of the changes that are going on in digital marketing, it's very important to continue to learn and to refine your craft. And maybe 20, 30 years ago, when things weren't changing as quickly, you might have been able to get away with just learning one thing or a few things and just continuing your career or your business. But nowadays, with all the changes in Facebook advertising, with all the changes in all of the other digital marketing platforms, and just in general, just new things coming on digital marketing, yep. It's very important to continue to learn. And then the seventh thing is, I would say, is to have a big, hairy, audacious goal. So, for example, I listen to Gary Vee, and so do you, Stephen. And one of the things that he always talks about is owning the jets. That's his big, hairy, audacious goal. So really, I know that it can be a little bit silly thinking about okay, what's my big, what's my BHAG, what's my big, hairy, audacious goal right now? And maybe it's making $50 million in 10 or 20 years. And it might seem a little bit silly now, but having that thought and working towards it on a regular basis, on a daily basis, really allows you to think that way and be in that mental state to grow your business to whatever you want it to be. I mean, it could be many different things. For Gary Vee, it's, owning the Jets. Do you have a big, hairy, audacious goal,
Of course
Stephen?
I do, Gene. You don't...
What is it?
So, how about I tell you in part 2?
Okay, awesome. So these are the keys to our success as entrepreneurs. And we love to hear what your keys to success have been.
Put your feedback.
Please leave comments, questions. Yes, we love to hear your feedback. So thank you so much, Stephen. And I really enjoyed listening to your story today and your
Same
success.
here. See ya.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Stephen and Gene.